Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tech Tip Tuesday for Tuesday, December 2nd, 2025. I'm your host for today, Jake Barron, head of operation, or Jake Barron, let me get this right, VP Global head of operations for Healy World here, and I have my amazing co-host Henry Peña, our global onboarding specialist, available here today to help out. And yeah, this is a chat-based call here, so any questions you have about your Healy device, Highway, MagHealy, Coil, any of our different Healy apps too. Anything related to our different platforms as well, Academy, that kind of stuff, our YouTube channel, anything you need help with. We can handle most things here. Of course, we can't talk about any sort of using your Healy for certain conditions and that kind of thing, or recommending programs for specific things like that. But in general, we're here to help you out with any questions you might have on your mind. Maybe it wasn't worth, uh, doing through a support ticket or a live chat or asking Harmony, but you wanted to ask us here on the call. We're happy to help out for anything like that. Or if we can't answer it, we'll research it, we'll follow up, and we'll get back to you on that after the call as well. So again, chat-based call. So if you want to, you can go ahead and start putting your questions into the chat. And we got a couple of different announcements and things to make along the way too about some things coming up later in the month of December. So let's go ahead and kick things off.
Fantastic. Yeah, let's go ahead and get started. It looks like we don't have any questions. Oh, there we go. Maria has a question. It looks like Maria says, so a friend is looking for a house to buy. Do you have any recommendations of programs to use to focus energy, intentions, etc.? So, in that case, we would definitely, for something like this, the Heat Advisor Analyze 2 app would definitely be probably the way to go with this, since you're gonna be able to create your own custom. You're gonna be able to add your own custom focus statement. You're gonna be able to add uh, custom lists. If you want to add custom lists, you're gonna be able to focus on a specific aspect, whether you do the aura or the coaching module. So for something like that, I mean, the very first thing that comes into my head is either the aura or the coaching module, because it's really just, these are manifestation tools. Specifically, the coaching module, I feel like tend to use a lot for manifestation. So this is right up that alley. So I would focus on the coaching module plus uh, maybe trying to find a specific programs, maybe using the Heal Advisor app to find programs that may have frequencies to promote that same kind of focus, which in this case, since we are focusing on looking to buy a house. So depending on, your friend's situation, if it's if finances are concerned, then you can focus on that aspect. But if it's more about finding the right house for them, then at that point you want to get really specific with the affirmations and ensure that you are being very intentional with the type of house, because that's one of the things that I know it's said a lot with manifestations, that people can sometimes be very vague. And if you're trying to manifest something it already exists in your mind, but you're trying to basically bring it into reality, manifest it as something that's physical and tangible, you want to be able to picture it as accurately as possible. So be very specific with the house, the cost of the house, the color of the house, how many rooms it has, the location of the house. All of these things are going to be very, very important when it comes to not only thinking thoughts that align with whatever you want the house to be, but also taking actions that align with the process of finding the right house and purchasing the right house, and also gathering the resources. In this case, we could talk about money, having the financial resources to actually purchase the house. I don't know if you want to add anything regarding that, Jake.
I like this question. It's a very interesting topic too. And one of the cool things you notice when you're setting up your clients in the Analyze 2 app. You can put a building in there. One of the categories is building. Of course, there's, you know, pets and that kind of thing too, or all kinds of different things that you can put in there for the type of thing. So I've actually, when I first joined Healy, I remember there was, I've heard this before too, where some people were using their Healy device, whether they were in the real estate business or realtors or whatever, to help kind of harmonize the surroundings, the area, the house, the building, that kind of thing too, as well, with actually great results also. So as Henry mentioned, if we're getting a little bit more specific as far as does this person just wanting sort of direction on the best process or guidance to lead them to the house that's right for them, or do they have a few they've already identified and they wanted to put those into their Healy app, into the Analyze app, and do some of these different various analysis that we can do with the different modules within there as well too, because there's lots of different ways that you could use it, as Henry mentioned as well. So yeah, I think Henry can give a good guide as far as the different modules you could use for this particular purpose as well. But yeah, it's absolutely a great use for the Healy device too. When we're talking about moving beyond us and maybe animals and that kind of thing too, to this type of area also.
Yeah, and I know Chrissy Wong.
Mhm.
She recently she's one of our Healy World members. She does this bi-weekly webinars where she does advanced trainings on different topics, and I know she recently did one on manifestation. So Mary, I'm gonna go ahead and look for that one just so I can share the link with you, because I find
Mhm.
that pretty much anybody I share these advanced trainings with, I usually find them in the following call the next week or the 2 weeks after. So it looks like people are actually definitely taking advantage of this webinar. So I'm gonna go ahead and share the one for manifestation, which seems to be exactly what you're looking for here.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah, thank you for the great question. Great way to kick off Tech Tip Tuesday today. And let's see, I think we had a question, right, Henry, that came in advance. It was submitted by Nan Collins, and the question was, my Healy is not connecting to either of the apps anymore. So that's an interesting one, because a lot of times maybe someone has an issue with one app or the other, whether it's the Analyze app, maybe there's a login issue, or the Healy app, maybe some sort of Bluetooth issue. But if they're not able to connect to either of the apps anymore, this is a interesting situation here too. And so there's a couple different ways. Henry, you did a great Healy short video out there as far as how to do a hardware reset, essentially, sort of reset your Healy device if you're having these types of connection issues too. So that's always one thing we can, well, I guess Nan's not on the call, but as far as there's very easy to Google how to do a hard reset on your Healy device, but essentially you're going to hold down that power button for around 10-15 seconds or so till you see that green light. Well, Henry, there's two ways to do this, right? You can do the one where it's plugged in and you're holding it as one option, or the one where, and when it's plugged in and you're doing, that's where you hold it till you see the green power light get a little bit brighter at the end there too. Or if you're holding it not plugged in, hold it till that that you see that light there too. So there's a couple ways to do that, but before you even do that, I would try first just turning off your phone, turning off whatever it is you're trying to connect, whether you're trying to connect your Healy devices to the apps, if your apps are on a tablet or a phone, whatever the case may be. Completely turn off your Healy device, turn off your smartphone, turn your smartphone back on, turn your Healy device back on there as well, and then open one of the apps that you're trying to connect to. Not both, only one at a time. You can only connect to one app at a time. Henry just put the link there for how to do that quick hardware reset. but yeah, I would do again. Just restart the platform that you're trying to connect to, and then if you still not cannot connect there too, I would try deleting and reinstalling the apps also. So delete the Healy 2 app, delete the Analyze 2 app, or you could try one at a time. You could delete just the Healy 2 app, reinstall it from your app store, and then at that point turn your Healy device back on, connect to do the connection process through the app there too. And usually, because especially since you mentioned it's both apps, there's no login issue or no login process for the Healy 2 app. So if you're having troubles connecting to that, I feel like it could be some sort of app issue. Maybe your app got corrupted, or as I mentioned, your hardware just needed to be reset, or your smartphone needed to be turned off and turned back on to kind of reset that sort of Bluetooth connection internally within your phone itself too. So this is usually a fairly easy one to fix. So I'm optimistic that if you try some of these things, just shutting down, restarting, reinstalling the apps too, you should be able to get back up and running as well. Especially, yeah, I mean, this in general, it's pretty straightforward. There's only a few things that could happen there too. Just keep in mind not to have both apps open at the same time when you're trying to test this out also. But Henry, anything else to add on that topic?
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think everything you said is completely right, Jake. And the only thing I would add two things. So a reminder, as I always like to remind everyone of this, you cannot connect your Healy to the Healy Advisor app. So you can always discard that one. That is an app that is not designed for you to connect your Healy via Bluetooth. So your only really two options are going to be the Healy 2 app and the Healy Advisor Analyze 2 app. Pink app, blue app. You want to ensure that only the green light is blinking. If the blue light is blinking, you will not be able to connect it to the app because that means that it's already connected to the other one. So make sure that green light is blinking, and at that point, you should be able to connect it to whichever app you're trying to use, whether it's a pink one or the blue one. Let's say that doesn't work. You do the hardware reset, right? You press and hold that power button for 10 seconds until that green light turns brighter. That should be enough. Now, let's say that doesn't work. You can always try restarting your phone. That can help too. The last step I would take if everything else fails is and let's say that you are an experienced Healy user, you have been using your Healy for a while and it's only something weird happened now, the Healy doesn't work anymore. But let's assume that the hardware of the Healy is still working fine. So what I would suggest as a last step is to try to use a different phone. So I would imagine, if you live with somebody else in your household, I always recommend trying to grab somebody else's phone, take it, asking them for, it just takes a minute to set up the apps. You just download the Healy 2 app, the Healy Advisor Analyze 2 app, and try to connect the Healy to a different phone. And if it connects to the other phone, then that immediately means that there is whatever it is preventing your Healy from connecting to your phone, it's really the phone itself, not the Healy. So that's another troubleshooting step that is worth considering. As Jake said, I have shared the short video on troubleshooting steps for hardware reset that can help with battery and also Bluetooth connection. And then for Maria, since I know you had mentioned that your friend is looking for a house and we focused in this case on manifestation. That training that I shared by Christy Wong, even though the title is boost, it's about career boost and business success. You're gonna see that if you actually watch the video, you can scroll through it, you're gonna see that it focuses on manifestation and it it shows you how to use the coach to manifest different things. As a matter of fact, it has multiple success stories from different members who have managed to manifest different things of different aspects of their lives. So it will not be only focused on career and business success. Any kind of manifestation that you are looking to apply in your life will follow that same concept and those principles that you're going to be seeing on that video. So definitely recommend watching it and sharing it with your friend Maria.
Okay, I mean, actually, Henry, I was just going to show since Nan did submit that question in advance, is not on the call. I'm going to show, since you can't see the chat right now, if you weren't able to join this live, I'm going to show you on our YouTube channel where exactly to go. So if you want to follow along later, if you watch this recording, you'll be able to get that taken care of. So I'm going to share my screen. Let me share this window. Patient. Okay, so this is our Healy World Learning Hub on YouTube. So you can get to this by going to HealyLearningHub.com or just go to YouTube and search for Healy World Learning Hub, or just the tag here at Healy World Learning Hub as well as an option. And the video that Henry was referring to, it's a Healy short or a YouTube Shorts video that it created a couple months back. If you go to our main page here, there's a shorts section, and you'll see here, it was actually, I think it was one of the earlier ones here. But if you go to the shorts section, yeah, here we go. Learn how to troubleshoot your device, your Healy device with a quick hardware reset. So if you want to watch this particular shorts video, again, if you're on this call, you can see the link in the chat. But if not, just go to our Healy World Learning Hub, navigate to the shorts section, and then look for this video here. Learn how to troubleshoot your Healy with a quick hardware reset. Okay. Yeah, and as Henry was talking about earlier, those Healy advanced trainings are really great. It's such in-depth, these aren't, short tips here and there. So you're going to want to be able to set aside some time to watch these because a lot of them are an hour and a half, 2 hours long. But there are some really tremendous amount of knowledge that's being shared by Petra and Christy on these calls here too. So highly recommend them as well. Okay.
We do have another question I see from Priyanka, which I can see that you have come to a lot of the different calls we've had lately. So thank you so much for always tuning in. Really appreciate it. And Priyanka said my MagHealy is not charging at all. I've raised a ticket already. I actually opened your ticket, Priyanka, just to make sure that everything is being taken care of. And I can see the last thing that happened, we requested some information. But yeah, I can definitely go ahead and I'll make sure to set this a priority so that somebody's gonna be looking at your case real soon.
Okay. Yeah, was this a case where it's not charging at all, or just not working off the charger, or is it just for the rest of us on the call that are curious? uh,
Yeah, so from understand it looks like it no longer charges. So it looks like the
oh,
battery started kind of like malfunctioning.
yeah,
Then it was charged, then it only ran for one session, then after that one session it turned off, and then after that one it doesn't seem to be
but
charging
not
anymore.
working on the charger or without the charger. Interesting.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's not a ton of troubleshooting to do on that as well. I'm just wondering if possibly there's something wrong with the wireless charger itself or the cable too. So the cable that attaches to the wireless charger then attaches to the basically the hub for the plugs into the wall too. It is
Hmm.
possible that over time, if you saw the charging performance, let's just try trading. Okay, and you tried that as well. Try changing the cords. I wonder, do you have any other wireless chargers in your house too? Because the MagHealy can be charged on other wireless chargers as long as it meets the Qi wireless standard. So if you see a QI on it, which means QI certified, you can charge a MagHealy also using that particular thing as well. So not everyone has an extra wireless charger around, but if you do, you can also try that as well to rule out that it's not the cable and not the actual charging pad itself too. Okay.
Yeah, I think the only thing I would add just so that we can expedite the process, Priyanka, is those video that the video. I know you mentioned you have a video showing the issue, so I would definitely go ahead and send that. I can see that you already submitted the photo of the back of your McHealy, so that's perfect. That's one of the things that the technical support agent that will be looking at your case is going to request, but we definitely need that video. So if we want to expedite the process, I would go ahead and send that video as soon as you can. And then also you're gonna want to add there your shipping address, just in case we need to do a replacement or we need to do an evaluation. Your shipping address will also be needed. So those are really the two things that we're missing so far, the video and the shipping address. Oh, you were not able to attach the video. So in that case, what I recommend is that you use, let me, I'm gonna go ahead and share the link here. In those cases, if you have trouble sending it via the ticket, we recommend that you use this website right here. I'm gonna send it here so you can send it. It's called wetransfer.com. What that's gonna do is that it's gonna allow you to upload your video, and then all you have to do is share the link. So you wanna make sure that when you go on that website, you don't want to have it set so that you send an email. It's going to give you two options, send an email or create a link. What you want to do is create a link, and then you're going to copy that link and send it on your next message to us saying, hey, I recorded a video. It's on this link. You send the link there, and then here's my shipping address. That's really all the information we need. Once we receive that, then a technical support agent is going to be looking at your case. And if needed, once again, an evaluation will get done, or chances are an evaluation will be needed just in case it's the battery. We may need to replace the battery of the MagHealy. And always also super important, making sure that everything is being done through the right account too. That's important because I did see that there was something having to do with your mom's account or something like that. So just want to make sure that everything is being done from the account that is associated with that device, so that we can proceed with the technical troubleshooting. Otherwise, we may run into issues there.
Absolutely. So let's see. You have a little bit of a question that here. So a little bit more info about the MagHealy Obsidian program, female nighttime harmony. Is it meant to help with sleep or is it something else? So again, great question here, Maria. So for those of you that don't know, I was actually going to pull up if I can find it here, our MagHealy. It would help if I picked the right thing. So Maria's referring to the new McMakin Plus programs that we have available specifically exclusively in the MagHealy Obsidian. So as far as more information, there is a short description within the app manual. So I was actually just gonna share that. So let me see this. Maybe it's something. The question was, is it meant to help with sleep or is it something else? So when you talk about nighttime harmony, it's in general sounds like it's something to help kind of relax that as well. But let me just show you in case you haven't seen this part already. But if you go to the MagHealy app manual, this is available for download in the Healy Academy. You can also access this from within the Healy 2 app itself. And you see here, we're in the McMakin Plus section. So you got all the different program names. There's 12 new programs. And you see specifically, was asking about Night Harmony Female in here. And then if you go down and look at the description, Night Harmony Female encourages harmonization of the bioenergetic field to support a calm, restorative night for women. So yes, I mean, in general, the overall idea is to help support, a restorative night, a good night's rest, good night's sleep, that kind of thing too, and provide like a calm, bioenergetic field for yourself during the nighttime phase there too. So as far as more information, I don't think there's more that we have available from the corporate side as far as that particular program. But yes, in general, it would be meant to help support restful night's sleep. And actually, I was going to say, I'll need to look again, but I believe some of the newer studies were on that particular program. I'll during the call here, I'll take a look and see if I can find that as well, because it might provide a little bit more useful information for you there. Okay, let's see. Signs. And yes, yeah, Priyanka mentioned that will be my next purchase, MagHealy Obsidian. Yeah, as a great way to get access to all the different modules. So, of course, the 4 main applications, plus the new McMakin Plus application, plus any new application that's added in the future as well, you'd have access to with that MagHealy Obsidian too. So we're getting caught back up on inventory. There's still some places around the world that are out of stock because there was a huge demand for the initial product launch. And I think for the most part, though, in the next, most places have received inventory recently, and the ones that don't will be getting it very, very soon. So. Okay.
Something I want to remind you when it comes to the names of things, because I know we often get that question. It's like, oh, like I wanna have, I wanna run this program, but I don't really know what it does, and it has this name. And you kind of get a taste, right? A feeling of what the program is supposed to be, and you look for a specific description of the program, which chances are you will never really find because everybody responds differently to these frequencies. And we need to remember that frequencies are a non-conceptual phenomenon. There is no meaning behind these frequencies that can be explained through words. So the best thing we can do is just use words to give you an idea of what you can expect from these programs. But I just want to mention this quote that I like. It's from like a poem that has to do specifically with that, and it has to do with the name, the secret name of things. So it says, there's a secret name under the conventional name. The conventional name is the perception, and the secret name is the sight and feel of the thing itself. And that can be applied for absolutely everything. You can think of a tree and you can think of the word tree, and you kind of get an idea of what a tree is. And maybe if if you look for the definition of what a tree is, you're going to find the words that describe what a tree is. But just thinking of the word tree will create inevitably images, maybe sounds, maybe smells in your head. And that's what I mean when I said the secret name is the sight and feel of the thing itself. So when you look at these names on the app, when you look for a database, when you look for a program, where you look for a module, a result, a focus statement, it doesn't matter what it is. When whatever images, whatever feelings, whatever intentions, whatever thoughts come into your mind whenever you read these things, that should really be your main focus. That should be your sense of a direction, your intuition telling you this is what this is for. So I know when I read something like female night time harmony, immediately, I don't even need to think about it. There are images, there are feelings, there is an idea, a taste of what my intuition tells me that a program like that would do. And that's what I encourage everyone to do. To follow your intuition, to pay attention to the names, and just pay attention to that immediate sense of intuition that you get when you look at the name. What does it tell you? You don't need to overthink it. The more you overthink it, the more you look for definitions, the more you look for concepts, the less you're going to depend on your intuition. What images, what sounds, what memories, what does your imagination tell you when you read these things? And rely on that, depend on it, because ultimately that is your own mind, that is the source telling you this is what it means to you, and that's really all you should care about, whatever it means to you. Of course, we can go ahead and put words and meanings in a manual, which can be helpful for general guidance. But remember, frequencies are non-conceptual phenomenon. We cannot really accurately describe the effect that it's going to have on every single individual. So yeah, just something to keep in mind.
All right. So great feedback there. Thank you for the comments. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, I was gonna share something else here, but maybe I'll do it midway through the call here in case we lose anybody near the end. But um, we've well, a lot of the people on the call have participated in these, but we have our big uh quarterly celebration. I feel like it was just last month. I guess we did our last quarterly celebration a little bit late, but we have on Wednesday, December 17th, not Tuesday, December 16th, Tech Tip Wednesday, which we're going to have coming up here in 2 weeks on December 17th. Is going to be our big year-end celebration, quarterly celebration. We'll have some more giveaways available there too. So we're going to have some cool questions for everybody as well to recap the year too. So just put that on your calendar. That the week of December 15th, we're going to do Tech Tip Wednesday on the 17th to close out the year too. So hope everybody can join us, and definitely invite everyone that you know that would maybe want to participate in that call too. Again, you'll have a chance to win some great giveaways too during that call. It's always a lot of fun, that one. Yeah, yeah, another chance to win. Yeah. Okay. Let me see. Well, I think we're caught up on questions, right? Let me see. Go back up for the comments. So yeah, I think we're good here. Trying to think what else we got. We got new coming up here. For those of you that missed our frequencies and friends, which is our monthly kickoff call we have at the beginning of the month, the first business day of each month, took place yesterday. So that recording, for those of you that missed it, if you want to go back and check what we covered on that, is available on our YouTube channel that we showed earlier, the Healy World Learning Hub, or HealyLearningHub.com. You can go back and check those out as well. It's the most recent video that was added there too. And there's actually, let me go back and share some things related to this channel, because there's so much content that gets added there that sometimes you kind of lose it. If you skip a week from checking it, the newest videos, you might not see it on the main page because it's already, it's only a week old, but there's been 3 or 4 new videos that have been added since then. So sometimes it's a little bit tricky to see that. But if you go, let's just see here. So when you go to the home part here, there's a For You section and the shorts too, but this varies. It's usually in order of newest videos, but sometimes it varies a little bit depending on what videos you've already watched. But if you just go to the video section and then make sure you sort by latest videos, which we have here, you'll see there's been, and this was last week, there was a master class with Martin Whitman added here on the Heal Advisor Analyze Coach module. And, we've had, on Tech Tip Tuesday, we've had, I think we've had a decent amount of questions recently over the last few weeks of, when using the coach module, how many different topics to focus on and that kind of thing, and how to interpret the results and all that kind of stuff. And Martin Whitman did really a great training here as well on a lot of these different topics. You see, it's pretty in depth. It's 49 minutes long. So for those of you that wanted to learn a little bit more about the coach module, definitely check this one out. Actually, I can put the link to this here in the chat. I'll just copy it for you and put it in there for easier access. But then also, of course, in addition to this, we have those resources in Healy Academy. There's the whole coaching module section there too, which is great. And then also, I like to, if you haven't done it yet, you can take it's always fun to take the course. So master the coach modules. You go here, click on this particular course, and then after you watch all the videos, there's 9 in this particular section. You'll be able to take a test, and then if you pass this test, you'll actually get a certificate that you can download and share if you wanted to, or just keep it for yourself, that you passed the coaching module certificate or course and received your certificate, which is great also. Okay.
One of the latest videos that we also had in our Learning Hub was the one with Marcus Mika talking about the high wave and basically all new things that are coming up with having to do with Healy. So that one I definitely recommend watching. It's super entertaining. It's basically a very cool Q&A where Marcus is answering everyone's questions and he talks about a little bit of everything having to do with Healy. So definitely recommend it. It's one of the latest videos uploaded to the Learning Hub. So I recommend that you check that out if you haven't watched it because it's probably one of the best ones we've uploaded lately.
Absolutely. Let me put this link here into the chat first. Um, okay. 1 second. Okay. I just shared the link to Martin's training on the coaching module there in the chat. And then also, there's another, let me see if I have the link here. Another great training coming up here soon. Let me see. Oh, wait a second here. Oh, there is another training coming up tomorrow that I will try to get the link for here. Actually, let me see if it's available. No. Okay, hold on a second here. All right, we'll continue on. I'll come back to that here in just a few minutes here. Okay, I think we're all caught up here still, I believe. Right? We have a couple of links in here. Got this taken care of. Yeah, and everyone's going to bring their friends, of course, to the great episode we have coming up here in 2 weeks from tomorrow as well. And let me see. We got, go ahead and put some questions in the chat here for Henry and I. We're caught up today. Got a good pace going on here too, but let's put a couple more questions into the chat. Anything that comes to mind here for you all recently? Anything related to our new products or MagHealy Obsidian or High Wave or the different our different apps, the Heal Advisor search, anything about Healy onboarding, um, anything like that. We're here to help.
Something I do want to mention because I recently saw a case it was a Healy however that we received from somebody who was saying that, it wasn't lighting up the high wave itself. Something to keep in mind for those who do have a high wave or are thinking of getting a high wave is to clearly understand that there are light patterns that will vary depending on what's happening with the program that you're running. And sometimes this also means that the light will be off, and this does not mean that the high wave is not working. So I believe this is kind of like where this case is going to go, that even though the person sent us the high wave thinking it wasn't working, we tested it and it does seem like it's working. But again, so I've noticed that sometimes people think that it's not working because the light doesn't turn on during a specific moments of the program, and that is just not the case. It can still work just fine. It is expected for this to happen when the Healy is running a program that is the frequency that's currently being transmitted, as long as it's over 200, 300 kilohertz, not hertz, kilohertz. So in this case, we were talking 200,000 hertz or 300,000 hertz. The light will be off if it's touching your skin. So again, that's another thing to keep in mind, that the light pattern will also change depending on whether or not it's touching your skin or not. So these are things to keep in mind when you get the high wave, because listen, if you're going to make the investment, or if you already made the investment, it is good that you understand how to use it and you understand the differences in the line patterns, just so you understand that it doesn't mean that there's something wrong with it. All of these different patterns are completely expected. And we made a whole training on the Healy high wave, on a Healy for beginners and beyond that we did a while ago. And we basically answered all possible questions you could have about the Healy high wave. We explained what it is, what the carrier wave frequency is, how it's different from the other accessories like the connection cables or the Healy coil. We explained the benefits of using the high wave and of course the light patterns. We explain how to replace the band if you ever want to replace the band of the high wave, and all of the things we mentioned it there, as well as compatibility and how to set it up, ensuring that your Healy is set to high current, that you have the proper intensity when you run the program, which programs are compatible with the Healy high wave and which ones are not. So all of these things are covered in that video. So I'm also more than happy to share that one with you guys so you have it here available.
Okay, great. I did find the link that I was trying to come up with here earlier. So tomorrow, actually, I'm glad I remember this. But we've mentioned it a few times, but we have a special webinar with our co-founder, and inventor of the Healy device, Marcus Schmika, tomorrow at noon Eastern time.
All right.
Oh, no.
Sorry.
that was me from a prior call. Yeah. But no, so I'll share just share the link right now. So this is the link. You don't need to register for this. It's at noon Eastern time tomorrow. Again, special webinar with Marcus Schmika at noon Eastern time. You just click on that link at noon and it'll take you right into the Zoom call there too. And it's about the vision behind Healy. So you're definitely in for a treat if you're able to join that. I do not think this one's going to be recorded and shared later. So if you do want to join, make sure you put it on your calendar, set a reminder, set aside some time to participate in that one too, because it's always a great experience, a special treat when we get to hear from Marcus. Okay. Oh, there we go. Thank you, Henry, for the links. So yeah, this is one where we have shared several different links in the chat here today. So I know we only have about 15 minutes left on the call, but just as a quick reminder for everyone, if you're on your a PC, a laptop, that kind of thing, too, if you want to save the chat, if you're in the chat section, there's those three little dots. You click on those three little dots, and there's options where you can click Save Chat, and it'll save a copy of the chat directly to your computer, so you can reference it later too. Okay. Henry, there's a question for you. So from Maria, how did you come to Healy, Henry? And may I ask what your background is? You seem to have such broad knowledge and intuition. I love it.
Let's see. Oh, I see. Okay. Thank you, Maria. I appreciate it. So, to be completely honest, my background is in film. So I studied film. I learned a lot about film, and I feel like that was something that helped me kind of like learn to appreciate the aesthetics of things, and to learn to appreciate things beyond conceptual understanding. I feel like that's what movies do. They allow you to see stories by looking at pictures, right? Motion pictures. So I think that helped me a lot in my professional development, but also appreciate art and beauty and aesthetics. Now, accidentally, I started, I think, because of the nature of life, and things usually we're looking to expand ourselves, to grow, to develop ourselves, to understand ourselves better, to be able to connect with ourselves and others better, and in a way that feels more positive, more aligned. And almost accidentally and organically, I started researching and learning about all kinds of philosophies and religions, right? So I started learning about different religions. I started learning about different philosophies and all of that. And ultimately, I ended up finding Healy too, and I find that, I mean, call it synchronicity, but I find that all my that interest that I got in philosophy and religion, theology, whatever you want to call it, spirituality. I mean, we can see how it perfectly matches also everything we talk about here when it comes to Healy. These are topics that are usually not often talked about, but when you take the time to learn about, again, philosophy and religion and spirituality, you realize that all of this is connected and ultimately can help you become a better person, a more loving person, a healthier, stronger person. Um, and I think just like when what we say that, the information field being the link between mind and matter, and how it becomes a bridge between all of these topics, I find that Healy does a really great job. As we know, the keyword here is holistic healing. I think it does a really good job at bringing all of these things together. And we can see that in the very, very fact that when we're talking about Healy, we're addressing the two most fundamental properties that exist in the world, which are information and energy. So if we're focusing on information and energy, and when it comes to philosophy and spirituality, we're really trying to understand both what we can see and what we cannot see. That's basically what Healy is already doing, and it's using that to promote healing and self-growth. So yeah, I feel like if I have to summarize my background and how I ended up here, that that's how I would probably put it.
That was great. Thank you so much for sharing him. Yeah, as Maria said, cool. Nice. Okay, I guess we got a question from Dory, right? So when I run an expert program and then do other things on my phone and then go back to check on it on the time left, it goes to T2. Okay, so does that mean the program stopped doing what it should do? I'm not, Henry, I don't know if I'm sure what the T2 means. Do you, is that something you're familiar with? Dory, I'm not
Not,
sure.
but
Are you
yeah,
saying
not to
that
be honest,
the
no.
time left shows T2, like instead of, minutes and seconds, it shows T2? Is that what we're referring to? Here, maybe you can just put a quick note in the chat because I don't think I've ever seen that actually um, either.
It could also be the fact that it's an expert program, because I've never seen that happening with a regular Healy program. So I don't know if the fact that it's an expert program, remember all of these are configured differently depending on the practitioner who creates the program. So there may be a meaning behind that. So if it was an expert program created by a doctor that you're able to talk to, Dory, I would probably reach out to them too, and just consider reaching out. If that's actually what you mean. T2 is there for all programs when I have too many things open on my phone. That's interesting. Yeah, I've never really seen that ever. So I would, Dory, just out of pure curiosity, just our team can see it. I would, whenever you see that happening again, I would take a screenshot and send it to us via live chat, because if it's a bug, we'll be more than happy to have our development team take a look at it so that we can get that resolved. It doesn't seem to be something general that a lot of people are experiencing, because we've really never seen that happening. Uh, yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, you can go ahead, Jake.
no, yeah, I was gonna say it's if it goes away, when you close the programs too, it sounds like there's probably a resources problem on your phone or tied to the memory as well. So I don't know of any specific part of the Healy program itself, the programming within the program, to display the T2 if it's basically out of resources. Sometimes like if you have too many things open on, I don't know, your laptop or whatever, you get a message like running low on system resources or that kind of thing. as well if you're really pushing it to the limit there. The Healy device itself, when running a program or an expert program, um, yeah, I'd be very curious if you can share a screenshot, as Henry mentioned too, whether it's in a chat here or just come back to the next Tech Tip Tuesday and share it with us as well. Because I'm just curious to see where exactly that's displayed and what exactly it looks like there too. And does this only happen when you're running expert programs? Have you ever seen this T2 for when you're running a regular Healy program too? I was curious on that also. But yes, it's always a good recommendation to only on expert. So that's even more interesting too. And are these Healy expert programs like Inner Peace, um, the prosperity, that kind of thing too? Or are these ones that you paid like a TimeWaver expert or a therapist to add these to your device also? I'm just curious on that one too. TimeWaver, okay. So as Henry kind of mentioned, it could be something in the programming of that program for there to be, I don't know, if there's an interruption, too many resources in there to display a certain message like that. But if it's only happening for the expert programs and it's only expert programs that were created not by the Healy corporate team, I think it would be a good or worthwhile at least to send a quick message to whoever you got the program from just to see what that message indicates there too. I mean, by process of elimination here, and if you close programs, it goes away, then it's probably something related to the resource. It would be interested to know, and maybe if you do get an answer, also to share a screenshot, and maybe if you did find out what they said, to share that also on a future call too, just because it could come up for somebody else in the future as well, and be good to know. But T2, like in my mind, I'm picturing like T minus 2 minutes and counting until blast off or something like that. But that's probably not what it means if it goes away after you close out some of the other open windows and programs and stuff. So I cut out for a minute, so I missed something. So I was just saying it'd be great. Since this is on expert programs created not by a Healy corporate, but from TimeWaver therapist, to go back to them and just send them a quick note. Hey, I'm getting this message T2 sometimes when running a program. If I'm doing other things or I have other windows or applications and things like that open, what does it indicate? Maybe it means, like you said, that the program is paused or something like that, or it's not fully transmitting the frequencies and that kind of thing that it's supposed to be doing at a particular time. Or maybe it's I don't know, maybe there's some sort of other meaning there as well, that maybe it means that to close out the other programs and focus on this one as well. So it happens with 3 different TimeWaver people. Okay. Yeah, interesting. Anything you can share, again, the screenshot too, we could send it to our product team, the app team, even to over at the TimeWaver team as well, to see if there's anything that they just know from seeing that message, what it would indicate. So I'm very curious now too. So I would like to get this figured out in case someone ever asks about this again in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. That's definitely gonna be the best course of action. If you reach out to us with the screenshot, then that's just gonna make things smoother from there. We can share that with our team, and they can research and let us know what that means, because I'm also curious to know what
Yeah.
T2 means. Now I don't think we answered. I know Priyanka just asked another question, but oh, she said that she's excited to use a natural cycle, the 12-12. Yes. By suggested by Healy. Okay. Yes. Now, there was one question that I don't think we answered, right? From Priyanka. She asked, she said, I'm creating a YouTube channel for frequency tarot reading with Eugenie Priyanka. So my question, what intention can I set on coaching module or what programs I may run to be able to reach out to amazing people? So as I mentioned before, when it comes to the intuition, right? You want to come up with, you need to, you want to pay attention to the images and the feelings and the aspirations that you have, whatever comes into your mind. When you see that text that says, okay, enter your focus statement, and you picture, okay, what do I want from this? And what do you do then? You try to do your, to the best of your ability, to put into words whatever it is that your mind is coming up with. That is the best advice I can give you. Now, if you have a hard time coming up with the wording, which is always done in present tense, like it's already happening to you, currently happening to you, and it's always a positive statement. If you have a hard time coming up with the wording, remember that you can always use AI to get this done, right? You can use either ChatGPT or Gemini or something else to do this. As a matter of fact, I know in some of our advanced trainings, I know Petra Tessa usually uses AI for these things, specifically for the coaching module, because it can be difficult to start writing all of these focus statements and come up with all of these affirmations, right? So if what you want to do is create a focus statement or an intention or an affirmation, AI can definitely be helpful. Just describe, hey, this is what I want to achieve and this is where I'm at right now. And AI can usually help you with that. When it comes to what programs to run, that will depend on you. Again, look at all the different gallery of programs that we have. We cannot offer program recommendations, but look at the gallery of programs that we have. You're welcome to use the Healy Advisor search module if you want. But because this doesn't seem to be something that have to do with specific issue, but it's about manifesting and growth, and in this case is something that a personal project. It may be hard to find something on the Healy Advisor search module. So in this case, what I would recommend is follow your intuition. Look at the different names of the programs and see which one seems to resonate with what you want. You could even maybe run programs, maybe with a Healy coil to maybe cleanse, or basic, or do some sort of energy harmonization to your deck of cards, right? Since you're gonna be tarot reading, that's something I would definitely recommend doing. I know it's very common for people who do tarot reading to, in one way, using different types of techniques to kind of cleanse their decks. I recommend doing that. You have the Healy, you have actual energy frequencies that can help you with that. So go ahead and do that. You can do that either through vibrations on the Healy Advisor Analyze 2 app, or try to find a program that resonates with you, that seems, the name seems to match what you're trying to do. There are going to be a lot of programs that have to do with bioenergetic harmonization, which should definitely work for this kind of purpose. So I would follow your intuition. That's what I would, that's what I always recommend doing. Getting in touch with your intuition, and learning to answer your own questions when it comes to these things that are very subjective questions. These are questions that usually can be answered by yourself when you sit down and take a moment to reflect, and um, those are really going to be the best answers, the one that you come up with yourself.
Oh, great. Thank you so much, Henry. And that brings us to the hour mark. Went by super fast again this week, like it always seems to do. And then also, a reminder, so next week, we're actually not going to have Tech Tip Tuesday next week. We have our own, next Tuesday, our own internal corporate team at the Orlando office is having our little holiday celebration here too next Tuesday. So we're going to be off doing that. But again, join us the following week on Wednesday, December 17th. Ken Close will be back. Henry and I will be there as well for the big year-end celebration and giveaways. So again, thank you so much for your awesome contributions today, Henry. Really appreciate it. And be on the lookout for the recording on our YouTube channel by tomorrow. And Again, save the chat if you want to. Click those three dots. Click save chat if you want to reference all these links that we shared on today's call. And yeah, we're looking forward to seeing you all 2 weeks from tomorrow for Tech Tip Wednesday. So, thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful day. Take care.